Shyvana jungle is one of the best picks for climbing in lower elo right now. She's easy to play, has insane scaling, and absolutely dominates mid-game fights. She's also a champion with a clear weakness, a garbage early game. In this guide we're going in depth to help you master Shyvana jungle and carry games reliably. We'll cover the best build and runes for maximum efficiency, how to survive early game and power farm, pro tips and matchups so you know when to pick her, and of course how to dominate mid to late game fights. If you want to climb with an easy yet powerful jungler, stick around. For the core build, it's pretty simple. Your two must-buy items are Spear of Shojin and Liandry's Torment. Shojin gives crazy ability haste, making your Q spam insane with your E as well. Liandry's shred tanks and squishies alike, making Shyvana a monster in fights. Boots always go Sorcerer Shoes for more burst damage. Now this is pretty straightforward, but now for situational items. Third item usually, you wanna go for Rift Maker because it's very strong overall, but you can go for Void Staff if the enemy team is stacking MR. If you need some AP burst, you can go Shadow Flame. If you're facing AD assassins, get Zonius. If they have a healing champion like Hatrox or Soraka, Morello Nomicon is amazing because Liandry's passive lets you apply Grievous Wound for a long time. Now onto the rune page. You go Fleet Footwork every time, it gives you extra sustain and movement speed in jungle and fights. Triumph heals you in fight to keep you alive. Legend Haste of course, the most ability haste you have the better for Shyvana. And then of course Cut Down. On second page you go Inspiration, Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight gives you free boots and a lower smite cooldown for a faster jungle clearing. On a side note, if you love dueling, you can swap Flash for Exhaust. It's very good to have 1v1 power after level 6. Now onto the pro tips and jungle mechanics. Number 1. Your auto Q instant ward and helps you deal faster damage. Your Q is an auto attack reset, meaning you can instantly kill wards by autoing plus Q. This also massively boosts jungle clear speed, always use Q after an auto. Number 2. Managing your Fury bar for maximum impact. Shyvana's ultimate has no cooldown, instead she builds Fury passively or by auto attacking. Every auto attack gives 2 Fury, so you can recharge R quickly just by farming the jungle. In fights, auto attacking extends Dragon Form, meaning you can stay in Dragon Form longer if you keep hitting enemies. Number 3. Counter jungling prevention tip. Shyvana is weak against invades, but here is a trick. If you clear your camps as soon as they spawn, enemies can steal them. Stick to fast clears and proper timers, and you'll deny counter junglers from running your game. Now onto the most efficient power farm route. You wanna start either on wolves or on raptors, and then go straight to Krugs or Gromp. The reason you do this is to finish by the buff every time. Now once you're done with one side of the jungle, you go to the other one of course, and you clear the 2 minor camps, raptors and Krugs, then you finish by your buff. That way your buff will stay on longer after finishing the jungle clear, and it's not a problem with Shyvana since you clear the jungle very fast either way. Now at 320 you should be ready to go for Scuttle Crab with 1 charge of smite. This is very important, that way you can contest it. If the enemy jungler is on the same side of you, you can just run straight to the other Scuttle Crab to make sure you at least secure 1. Do not hesitate to drop a ward in the enemy jungle before recalling after your first full clear. That way you have information and you'll be ready to get your pickaxe and start second full clear all over again. At the end of your second full clear you should be nearly level 6, ready to do Drake or Grubs depending on where the enemy jungler is to secure one or the other. Ideally you can do Drake very fast with Shyvana and soloing it. Now on to the matchup guides. Who destroys you? These are the bad matchups. Shyvana loses to early invaders, of course before level 6. She is a sub-champion. If you see an enemy Elise, Udyr, Lee Sin, Rek'Sai or Kindred, play defensively and avoid fighting pre-6. Ward your entrances and avoid getting invaded at level 3. Who do you destroy? These are the good matchups. Farming junglers like Zac, Amumu, Master Yi or even Karthus can pressure you early on. You will scale faster than them, outdamage them in the mid game and win most fights. Now neutral matchups. Against champs like Viego, Graves, Jarvan 4, it's kinda skill based. Just focus on hitting level 6, not getting countered early and playing for objectives. Your mid to late game strategy is quite simple. Mid game is your time to shine. You're one of the best Dragon and Baron takers, so always be ready for objective fights. Your teamfight goal is quite simple. Get Dragon form before engaging. Have 100 Fury ready. Then once you transform, spam Q Q and E on priority targets and melt them with Liandry's. If you can't land the priority targets, just keep hitting enemies to keep your dragon form up as long as possible. If you're behind, focus on farming the jungle and split pushing until you're gonna be strong enough to fight. Trust me, it will happen anyways. Now to summarize, in early game you wanna full clear, avoid invades and hit level 6 as soon as possible. In the mid game, you wanna play around dragons and Rift Herald, engaging fight with your R, dominating the team fights. In late game, you wanna team fight in dragon form as well, kind of front to back, use Q resets and Liandry's to burn the enemies. Now remember, the more AP item you have, the more your gameplay is centered towards hitting your E in dragon form. So in the late game, do not frontline, use your E to try and obliterate the enemy team and land it on as many enemies as possible. Now pro tip, auto plus Q is a one shot for ward clears because Q counts as 2 auto attack on wards. Have a good fury management, always try to be ready for a fight with 100 fury. When you don't have it, keep farming and have a fast jungle clear all over. If you play around your power spikes, Shyvana will carry games effortlessly. Now that's it for the guide. If this helped, drop a like, sub to the channel and let me know in the comment if you want more jungle guides.